Kinfolk, it seems as if my sources were correct when they said that allegedly Marlo and Marc were teaming up to try and destroy Kenya on this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. What was their plan? And how does the production team and the network feel about it? Well, I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more right after this. What's up, Kinfolk, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. Alright, Kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around rumors that allegedly Marc and Marlo were trying to team up to destroy Kenya this season on Real Housewives of Atlanta. What was their plan? And how does the production and the network feel about it? I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more. And here it goes. Rumors are that allegedly Marlo has gone one step too far in her attempts to destroy Kenya and her divorce battle with her soon-to-be ex-husband, Marc Daly. The source said, "This is scary and low of Marlo to try to insert herself into Kenya's divorce fight, especially knowing that Kenya's custody of her daughter is potentially at stake." The source continued, "Marlo has definitely overstepped her boundaries, and if it turns out to be any malicious intent found in Marlo's actions, then Kenya could pursue legal actions," ended the source. Another source said, "Allegedly, the entire cast and even production was shocked and disgusted by Marlo's actions. When Kenya allegedly pulled out the receipts of Marlo trying to contact Marc, many couldn't believe it. No one could believe that Marlo would stoop so low," said the source. Also, Marlo was allegedly caught off guard by Kenya's discovery and didn't know that Kenya knew. So the question is, what's next for Marlo? And how angry is the production team and the network at her actions? Well, an industry insider said, allegedly, production was first shocked, then furious about Marlo's alleged actions. Why? Because it could potentially put production in a lot of legal trouble if Kenya decides to pursue that course. What was she thinking? Continued the source. Yes, it makes good TV and provides a shock value for the filming of the reunion, but it was all completely unnecessary. Another source said, Marlo is desperate to keep her peach, and it shows. A lot of the mothers on cast were also very disappointed in Marlo's actions, some even furious. Sources say that Candy was one of them. The fact that you would actively try to separate a mother from her daughter was extremely disrespectful and sad. The source ended by saying, Marlo really disgusted a lot of people on staff with her actions and probably should be demoted for her stunt. Speaking of production, all sources believe Marlo will be reprimanded in some way if producers and the network decides to investigate her alleged actions. The network can't afford another lawsuit with negative press attached to it, said another source. The alleged actions by Marlo do not fit the network's rebranding of their Real Housewives franchises. Hopefully, all of this is one big misunderstanding, continued the source, but it's hard seeing it that way. Rumors from reunion taping suggest that Kenya has maintained that she has the proof and the receipts that shows that Marlo was trying to contact Marc and was allegedly trying to illegally insert herself in their divorce proceedings. Now, sources say all this information, probably if true, was turned over by Marc because allegedly he is legally obligated to turn over all documents involved in their divorce proceedings. This could be the biggest storyline surprise of the season, ended the source. Now, Kinfolk, this is a lot of information coming out recently from Marc and Kenya's divorce proceedings, which has been drawn on so long, even longer than their actual marriage. But Kinfolk, we're gonna hop right into some parts of this rumor that I believe are factual, and which parts of it I feel like could not be so much factual, could be so much factual. So with that being said, the first thing is this. I can believe it. I can believe that, Mark and Marlo were allegedly texting or having phone conversations, probably sharing information about Kenya or digging up dirt on Kenya. Now, none of this has been proven because right now it's all alleged information and speculation, but Kenya has stated at the reunion that allegedly she has the receipts. I can believe it because my sources have been telling me all throughout the summer about this secret type of interaction that Mark was allegedly having with someone on cast. Didn't know who it was until recently when I found out that allegedly it was Marlo. But however, my sources did not tell me that it went to this extent. And a lot of people simply did not know because Kenya kept this very close to her chest. Now, do I believe that Mark and Marlo were conspiring to come up with dirt on Kenya? Probably so. Do I believe that Marlo was trying to get enough dirt or hardcore evidence to maybe hurt Kenya in her custody battle? That, in my honest opinion, I don't think Marlo would stoop that low, but you never know because she seems to be full of surprises lately. But kinfolk, it is another part of this rumor that I think may actually be the more logical explanation as to why Marlo and Mark have been allegedly in conversations with one another. And it's this. If I had to put money on it, I'm willing to bet that, and it's just me speculating here off this alleged information, that Mark probably contacted Marlo first in order to get dirt about Kenya while filming to use in their divorce proceedings. Now, in my head, that is what I think may have happened, but we don't know yet. And like Kenya said in the reunion clip, it's going to be brought out in Discovery if it gets to that point. But, I can't see it going that way. Now, I'm not saying that Marlo is above contacting Mark first and trying to get dirt on Kenya to throw the first jab. I'm just saying, to me, the more logical thing may have been for Mark to try to get dirt on Kenya while filming, so he could use in his divorce proceedings that I think were going on while they were filming at some point. I don't think that Marlo's need for dirt on Kenya would take her to the point where she's trying to contact Mark. I don't think. It has happened in the past when we saw Nene alleging that Phaedra tried to get dirt on her from her sisters and taking them out to eat and things like that. But I think that Marlo had enough storyline to where she didn't have to necessarily actively go after Kenya and go this deep into her life and her background and her divorce with Mark. But then again, we just don't know because Marlo has been full of surprises this season. But kinfolk, it's another part of this rumor that I do not find surprising at all, and it's in regards to Marlo's behavior when it comes to Kenya and her divorce proceedings. And I think a lot of people also see it this way as to why many of them probably were frustrated and disgusted at Marlo's actions. And it's this. If you are to believe this rumor, because right now it's all alleged information and speculation, but if you are to believe that Marlo actually did try to contact Mark in hopes of trying to get some dirt on Kenya that could possibly hurt her custody battle, it really goes to show you how hypocritical Marlo is, how much of a hypocrite she is, and how double-sided she is in a lot of things that she is doing in front of the cameras and not even behind the cameras. Here you have Marlo talking about, her issues with her own mother and becoming a stepmother and how it's important for a mother to be in their daughter's life or a mother to be in their son's life and their mother to be just overall active in their child's life as they're going through very fundamental stages in life. And for her to try to then circle back around, after you had this, this foundation dinner with, with foster care kids and all of that, but then to circle back around and to allegedly try to hurt a mother's custody of her daughter and try to hurt a mother's future relationship with her daughter because you have a vendetta against this person simply because you can't keep up with this person when they're reading you, it's quite sad and disappointing. I just feel like Marlo, if you are to believe these rumors, and my sources are saying that the receipts do look very believable, then, Marlo really did overstep her boundaries and then also show her typical self, her real, actual self. This is who Marlo is. This is someone who, at this point, I don't even think Marlo even tries to hide it anymore. I think she likes having this double side to her, this two-faced side to her, so the public can, consume it and then pick it apart. Because I think her doing something like this, either one, she's not smart enough to keep it quiet so she can protect her, her expiring good girl image, or two, she just doesn't care. And I'm willing to believe it's probably number two. She just doesn't care how she comes off at this point, as long as she hears people talking, as long as she gets camera time. With that being said, I do feel like Kenya should probably do this next thing if this rumor turns out to be true. And it's this. If this rumor turns out to be true and Kenya's receipts turn out to be very strong, I think Kenya probably should take some legal action against Marlo, because it seems like nothing is going to stop Marlo but a court order at this point. She has allegedly chased Kenya down in a restaurant. She came knocking at Kenya's door, banging on the door. When they went to what it was, Blue Ridge Mountain, Marlo chasing her around the house. At this point, she is backing Kenya up into a corner to where Kenya is probably going to have to just say, hey, enough is enough. I need to protect myself and my family. And I need to put legal actions or take legal actions against Marlo. Now, doing this will take a lot of I think a lot of time with her divorce proceedings with Marc. And if you are to believe the rumors and the sources that allegedly Marc was the one who provided Kenya with this information because he was legally obligated to in their discovery phases of their divorce, then I think that if Marc chooses to play fair and play nice, Kenya may not go there with Marlo, right? I don't think she may take legal actions that are so severe that, it may cause interruptions to filming or cause the network or the production team to get involved. I think if it is found out that they did have these conversations on the phone or through text messages, I think Marc may just back and say, hey, my back is against the wall. Let's play fair. So we have to drag Marlo in it and add another layer to our already messy and layer-filled divorce proceedings. So with that being said, I definitely do see that as being their course of action. Now, kinfolk, the last thing I want to talk about is production and how they allegedly feel about Marlo and her actions. And it's this. Team, my sources are telling me that Bravo and the production team are not happy about this allegation. None whatsoever. Allegedly, at first, they thought that, hey, this is good television for the reunion. This is a shock value. That was a good cliffhanger. This, that, third, fourth, fifth, and the sixth. But after filming, allegedly, everyone's gear started to grind a little bit. And from my sources are telling me that allegedly, once everyone got over the initial shock and excitement, they realized the severity of what Marlo allegedly did, and also who she did it to. And they know Kenya is very protective of her daughter. And so anything that she feels like maybe trying to drive a wedge or separate her from her daughter, it is not going to end well for the person who is trying to levy that attack against her. So then production with my sources telling me, allegedly sobered up and said, okay, this may go somewhere. We don't want it to go. So I'm not sure how they're going to handle it in behind closed doors. And they only have a couple of months, probably even a couple of weeks to decide, because filming starts pretty soon after the reunion wraps. So with that being said, we know that allegedly the production is not happy about this. The network is definitely not happy about this. And having the threat of another lawsuit potentially looming is nothing that no one wants. So we're going to see how they work to solve this. And I think they will. Now, it's going to take a lot of self-reflection on Marlo and self-restraint not to anger Kenya anymore and just to step back and say, hey, I was out of line. I'm going to fall back if these rumors are to be true. And that way, you kind of allow Kenya to calm down a little bit and try to get her divorce settled. And that way, she probably doesn't really want to add an extra layer to this. And that way, she may back off a little. That's all we can hope for now, or at least all that the network and the production can hope for. But kinfolk, I want to know what you guys believe. Do you think that Marc and Marlo were really trying to conspire together to really take Kenya down and to, in some ways, make her lose custody of her daughter, or at least full custody of her daughter? Or do you think that this is all one big misunderstanding? It may have just been one phone call or one text message, and it's just something that probably shouldn't happen, but Kenya's probably making it out to be something more. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Alright, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.